This is the intro that we don't have.
Ba-ba-ba-bum.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's. This is what happens when I always have family in town. It's always the best stuff about AEW that I never see. So
Yeah, I mean that's just
yeah. Sorry. So I'm gonna be a little quiet about Rampage, Battle of the Belts, but I'll take Dynamites.
that's something.
Yeah. Actually, although I did see the highlights to the Ring of Honor Championship match.
Let's put all this out there for everybody.
To the
The
Twitterverse.
Twitterverse.
Oh my god.
All right.
So tired today.
I feel you.
Thank God. Thank God for Raising Canes.
That's
For the
it's
Canes.
good shit, pal. And hello everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of the Just Us Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I am the Athletic Geek, joined on the other end of the tin can string this week. Returning to the show is CJ.
Yo.
And EZ is here.
Hey yo.
And Nick might join us, he might not. Much like much like how it is every week. So it's just a big old
Brain fart.
Yeah, big old brain fart. I also just recorded a Geeking Out podcast episode, so I am like, yeah. So it's been quite the week in AEW. But if you've never seen this show before, this is the Just Us Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I met CJ here locally. I met Easy at All in StarCast. And if Nick shows up, I went to high school with him. We love wrestling. We love talking wrestling. We love sharing our love for wrestling with each and every one of you out there. However, just like each and every one of you out there, we are just fans. Our opinions of that, of any other fans, we avoid insider terms because at the end of the day, we are not insiders. We are not wrestlers. We's just a bunch of marks. So, yeah, quite the week in not even just there's 3 AEW shows to talk about, but it's been quite the week in just wrestling. Like there's a
And
lot
also,
of stuff to
somebody
talk
had
about.
fun over the last few days. The
Indeed,
shirt you're wearing.
and you will hear more about that next Wednesday on the you know the triple threat feature of the Geeking Out podcast, Four Sides podcast, and Big Lee's World. So check that out.
Damn.
It is 3 podcasts in one. So we'll talk more about that, but really great time, and there'll be a vlog eventually, but be forewarned, it's not going to be as good as the other vlogs because we're kind of just busy in lines. We didn't go to as many panels or get as much other stuff. It's the vlog is just going to be look at all the people we saw and met. Neato. So just be forewarned. But yeah. So I'm gonna start out with the first night we were at that convention with the apparently controversial episode of AEW Rampage. So
No. Let the WWE bots begin.
Yeah. I don't really.
It's just a joke. It's just a joke.
I really don't know if this was even any bots. Like I think there were some people. Well, we'll get more into it later. Start off with something I think everybody should be on board with. The Blackpool Combat Club versus the Ass Boy / Gun Club, and it was a good 6-man tag. Good stuff from Wheeler Yuta. They're really doing a good job, in my opinion, establishing this new stable. I didn't expect this is the direction they're going to go with Mox and Brian, but I like it. I like it. What say the rest of you?
It was good. They're giving a lot of time to this group, which is, I mean, it's nice for the people in the group. It's not so great for all the other talent going like, okay, well, what about me? But it's establishing a new star in Wheeler Yuta. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's something else. Like, at least we're getting a new star out of this, and it's not just the next shiny plaything that Tony Khan wants to sign. At least they're giving it to Wheeler Yuta. Yeah. Easy. Any opinion on this?
I was at baseball, so sorry I didn't see much of it.
All right. Well, next up we have the Butcher and a Squash, and then Ruby Soho versus Robin Renegade. Whatever. Ruby Soho and Robin Renegade. This was good, not great. Owen Hart qualifier, but you kind of knew that you can't have this tournament without Ruby Soho. So it's kind of that. I'm not saying it was a bad call or that it was wrong or anything. It was just kind of hard for me. I definitely did not feel any like jeopardy of what this match was in.
no, and thank God for the Owen Hart tournament. So we can pull some people out of the dark.
Yep,
See what I did there?
I see what you did there.
You see what I did there? Yeah. A lot of people have been just relegated to dark for a long time and haven't gotten a lot of time on TV. So getting some fresh faces. I was kind of hoping when she signed with AEW, I wasn't going to say that about Ruby Soho, but here we are.
Yeah.
Hope she knows where her destination will be. Oh, what? I don't get a ha ha. I see what you did there.
To be fair, he didn't laugh at my joke either.
No, I acknowledged her joke at least.
I am the Roman Reigns here.
Acknowledge me.
Eh.
And
I'm just. I think I have MJF levels of I can shit on whatever city that I'm in. For example, like America's crappiest city. Well, actually, wait, never mind. I used to live across from Detroit, but that's beside the point.
So now we got to talk about the main event, the last chapter, hopefully, in this feud. Hangman Page versus Adam Cole, Texas Death Match for the AEW World Title. I'm gonna say this for the record because I missed this match as it happened because we were at a convention. I was busy, probably trying to meet I know she was trying to meet Britt Baker when this was going on. I was probably trying to meet Road Dogg or Killer
You were
Cross
trying
and
to get
Scarlet.
money.
I was trying to get money, maybe. Yeah, they were trying to do something else. I was hustling down there. But
Trying to get them sponsors.
trying to get them sponsors, yeah.
Yeah.
So I missed this as it happened, but I know when CJ and I went to the restaurant in the hotel for dinner, apparently Twitter just blew up with some people condemning this match, some people high-fiving this match, some people high-fiving this match because a certain section of the audience was offended by the match, and I'm not going to get deeply into beliefs on this channel, but as somebody that fasted from meat on the day that this match occurred, I can honestly say that I did not feel offended and did not really think anything of what they were going for. Do I see how some people might have? Yes. Do I see how maybe some people might feel that in a world where we need to be cognizant of how people feel that maybe they shouldn't have done that? I see their side of things. But for me, I really didn't get any sort of vibe of any anti-religious or anti-Christian things from this match. The only anti-Christian thing about this match was Christian was not in the match. There's my joke. I think the only reason that a lot of people latched onto this is because there was one person that went, LOL, they're making fun of these religious people on Good Friday, LMAO, and people just kind of latched onto it. People from all different belief systems latched onto that, and it made this thing a bigger deal than it really needed to fucking be. That's my opinion. There might be some people that agree, disagree, whatever. We're not here to talk about it, but because it's inevitably going to come up, I don't see anything offensive about it that was intentionally made to be offensive by Hangman Page or Adam Cole. What say the rest of you?
I mean, it could have been worse. They could have brought a cross out. But yeah,
I'm going to say this. There was a straight up crucifixion in ECW
And WWE.
and WWE. Oh no,
Yeah.
it was a symbol in
We
the
all know about
WWE, so it's not a
Stephanie's-
crucifixion. It was an Undertaker symbol. I've seen things that are like a little bit. If you have that belief system, there's a lot of things that yeah.
You think like if this match was bad, do you have any idea how much shit that WWE has done?
Yeah. I'm just saying, like. Yeah, there was a lot of things that have been much, much worse. Yeah.
I'm
same thing. I'm Catholic, I practice Lent, and I wasn't offended by it. Yeah, same.
I'm honestly more shocked that there wasn't a much bigger boycott for Vince and Shane versus Shawn Michaels and God. Like, are you guys seriously?
I think the reason there is a boycott is, and I don't know people's beliefs, so I'm not.
I don't know if it happened back then.
I'm not judging anything. There is a very, very popular wrestling reporter who really latched onto it and like, oh my LMAO, they're making fun of Jesus on Good Friday or something along those lines. That's not tweet word for word. I don't care. And him putting that out there made some fringe people on both sides of it get really, really worked up and cause a bunch of people to be pissed off. CJ, what's your opinion?
I mean, it's kind of this like we heard about it before we saw it, and like, well, this is great. That was somebody misfired big time about cutting away from the angle or something like that. Like, oh Jesus, here we go. But then we watched it and like, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. Didn't even go. They put it around the back of his head because that's where he's, that's where the target is on the move. Like it was just to make it a more impactful landing. It wasn't a crown of thorns.
Yeah.
Like that's
wasn't a crown of thorns, and he wasn't like crucified. It wasn't Sandman and Raven. It was not.
It was just barbed wire around not even around his head. It was barbed wire placed on the back of his head. Like I've seen the imagery of Good Friday all of my life. I ate meat on Friday. That's not my bag. But I definitely spent some summers at some camps and did some things. So I've seen that picture burned in my head.
I can second on the childhood trauma that I've had to suffer at a Lutheran camp in Three Rivers, Michigan.
Southern Baptist.
Okay, you win.
Like, that's my trump card. I win all the time.
Yeah. Anybody who's been born in the Baptist, yeah, they win.
They got good food. We got great food, so
we Catholics can drink beer and not call it a sin. That's why I stick with it.
We can. That's where the southern part of the Southern Baptist comes in.
Gotcha.
So what would a Northern Baptist be?
I don't know.
They just eat a lot.
But yeah, so that's final word on all that. Look, I respect the fact if somebody's like, hey, we live in a world where we want to we got to be sensitive of other people's beliefs and, thinking, hey, why aren't we included in such sensitivity? I get where those people are coming from, but I also highly, highly, highly doubt that Hangman Page and Adam Cole were going, fuck all these stupid Christians. I highly doubt that. Now, were some people who have influence on the internet saying that? You betcha. But not Hangman Page and Adam Cole. So everybody needs to get the fuck over it. Everybody.
Plus, there is a very popular tag team that truly are Christian AF.
Yeah.
So
everybody needs
I'm
to get
sure
over
they
it.
didn't care.
This match, though, a lot of people liked it. I thought it was a good match. I don't think it was. This is the downside to not seeing a match as it happened. This match to me was the epitome of overhype. Controversy was overhyped, and so was the match. It was a great match, but there are so many people acting like it was match of the year candidate, and I'm just not feeling it that way. It's like I said, it's overrated in the literal sense. Not overrated in bad, overrated in I feel that the people who had their opinion on the match before I got to saw it maybe thought a little bit more highly of it than I do. I don't know.
I thought it was fine. I'm not sure why like we had to do another death match for the title in general. I got no problem going back to the Adam Cole thing. Like going back to him trying to win the championship again so quickly. I really don't have a huge issue with that. I have more of an issue about why we had to have a death match. Why do we have to keep having gimmicks?
For the belt.
Why does everybody have to bleed?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not a huge problem, but it's okay.
Cody's gone, so they got to fill the blood quota now, man.
I'm like John Moxley is the only one who said he had to bleed with someone first.
Now Wheeler Yuta had to bleed like that in that match for it to get over, though.
Yeah, and that's fine and dandy. When it makes sense, it makes sense. And it makes sense to bleed in a death match. That's fine. But it doesn't make sense that we had to do a death match again.
Yeah. So there was that. I did get to see a little bit of that in the hospitality suite they had at the convention, but I left before controversy occurred. And I will say, I did call this last week. Yes, I was very critical of Adam Cole, and then, yes, I'm going to feel bad about being critical of Adam Cole because Adam Cole is a very, very nice person. And the tweet is true. When you meet Adam Cole or talk to Adam Cole, you feel awful because you're not as nice of a person as Adam Cole is. So now we go on to AEW Battle of the Belts. Have 3 matches. And, well, we'll just, oh, I don't want to talk about this.
We could always skip it.
No, we can't skip it because this is something that needs discussed. I just wish they really wouldn't have done it. Sammy Guevara defeated Scorpio Sky to regain the AEW TNT Championship. I think it's time for me to quote a legendary Nickelodeon show from a legendary actor on it. Why? Who asked for this? Who thought this was a good idea?
Oh, I know the answer.
Please tell me.
Tony Khan.
I'm lost.
What the actual fuck?
I was actually trying to guess the show. Like, I was more of a Disney guy.
Oh, Kenan and Kel.
Yeah, it was a little before your time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably.
Just why? Like, why? Why was this a thing? Why did this happen? Why are we doing this? Sammy Guevara was probably one of the best natural good guys they had in their company. Why are we trying to make him as unlikable as possible? Why is that something we need? We have enough bad guys in AEW. We have enough. Why? Why is this a fucking thing? And you know what? I guess because everybody on Twitter hates it too, I can finally dislike something about AEW that everybody else dislikes. So I guess finally things come full circle. I used to be the only one that liked Cody Rhodes, and then now I'm not the only one disliking why they're doing this shit with Sammy Guevara. Why would you do that, Scorpio Sky? Just why? I got nothing else to say. It's just, what the fuck?
I really got nothing as well. It's like, look, I'm not as happy as everyone else with Sammy. He's becoming a two-time TNT champ. Whether it's he wants
Three.
and because everyone's 3-time. Okay, sorry, 3-time. Whether they just want the internet to actually hate Sammy now. And for me, it's like I really don't get the hate. It's like really after Cody and Brandy left, the next couple that you want to hate is Sammy and Ty. Like, okay, sure, fine. Actually, give them a reason to be heels instead of because we hate them, so they should be bad guys. Like, okay, the only reason like I actually don't like American Top Team is because Dan Lambert is just I can't stand Dan Lambert. He's just freaking annoying. I'd much rather have Don Callis back. At least he's Canadian annoying. But anyways,
that's the worst kind of annoying.
Exactly, and that's why I'm on the show. But anyways, there was really no doing justice for Scorpio. Like I felt like that was kind of like highway robbery right there. So I don't know. Hopefully, maybe we'll get a good feud that could lead into Double or Nothing or whatever. But who knows?
No, they're gonna pay it off next week in a ladder match. It better be the payoff.
Okay. Well, we didn't get to Dynamite yet. So, but anyways, yeah.
Yeah. Spoiler.
But hopefully, honestly, I kind of hope Scorpio. If Scorpio and Ethan Page, they still want to be a tag team, sure. But can Taylor just go away, do your own thing?
No,
please?
because they need to. You would not. You would like them if Dan Lambert was not there.
But here's the thing: I don't want to cheer for American Top Team. Why would I be supporting a guy that is literally bashing on pro wrestling?
Just you. That's exactly. Exactly. He's getting heat. I'm not gonna try and go bully Ray on this, but like the dude's getting heat. That's the point. You're not supposed to say that he's fucking epic and think he's cool. You're supposed to go like, God, what a son of a bitch. I don't like him.
Well, apparently now it's Sammy who's the bad guy.
Yeah, that's why there's problems. I think it's
Sammy. It's like we're now all cheering for Thanos to get the Infinity Stones again. It's like
if Sammy would have lost this match, I think that would have endeared him a lot more. When he goes out there and destroys Dan, like when you make yourself seem more unlikable than Dan Lambert, there's a problem. When that's how they're choosing. I don't know if it's Tony Khan. I don't know if it's Sammy Guevara himself. I don't know. But I know the bug starts and ends with Tony Khan. He's running the company. So if something is not working, even if it is creative freedom, you got to step in and go, hey, buddy, we put a lot of effort into making people empathize and like you. Why don't we have you just lose this one and then stop doing we'll stop having you do asshole things. To me, the whole thing is, if they're starting to if people are just starting to dislike Sammy on his own, I don't know,
I'm so under the belief that the only reason the internet hates Sammy is because they think Ty Conti is the reason that Sammy and his then fiance broke up. Well, literally, that is still the belief.
That's nobody's business but Sammy and Ty's. But here's my other thing: why put them together? If you know this is going to be the reaction, why do they have to be together on screen? Why? Again, go back to my original point. Why? CJ, you need to jump in on this.
I mean, I don't know why. I don't know why. I assume that, a large section of the internet did start hating the both of them when they came out in a relationship. It happens a lot. People come out and they're like, "Hey, we're really happy together and this is going really well." And there's people on the internet, because it's the internet, that want to shit on it. There were more people that wanted to shit on the two of them because they felt like Pam was disrespected, because everyone knows Pam. She, I don't know. I don't personally know Pam, but apparently the internet does, and we're all very offended about it. Even though she said she's fine, we're all very offended about it. And then it kind of got forced down our throat that they're together. And I don't know if that's a Sammy call. I don't know if that's a Tony call or a Ty call or a Brandy Rhodes call that has lasted through her contract ending. But I do know that Tony Khan keeps coming up on Busted Open and these other shows and on the internet itself, saying that it's his company and he is the head of creative and he runs it. So if there was a problem, he's the person to stop it. It didn't stop, so he must be okay with it. And credit to them, now they're getting booed, even in the shows. They're getting booed by the fans face to face. It's not just the internet hating them. They had no choice, and now they've turned him heel. I don't think it was the plan to turn him heel, because now he's still going against another fucking heel. I don't understand why we're still doing this. If you want Sammy to have the belt back, if Sammy's going to be a heel, then let him move on. He didn't have to win the belt back. You could have kept it on Scorpio. There's nothing fucking wrong with Scorpio, except maybe the fact that he's Brandy Rhodes' cousin. I don't know. Like, I have there's no logic here. There's no rhyme or reason. It's like Vince McMahon came in and like, "Oh, you should do this. That'd be good shit, pal." And he's like, "Oh, you know what? I should do that." Maybe Vince McMahon is the guy sitting in the chair that has 30 years of experience who told him to turn the lights out. Because God knows that Tony Khan doesn't love turning a light out.
Yeah, it's and before people come after us going like, just let it play out, Tony Khan is doing something really epic with this. It's like, no, I don't think he is.
Or maybe he's not. I mean, maybe he is. But the track record right now is saying he's not. The track record right now is saying that we're going to have a ladder match again for the TNT title, even though we just fucking did that with Cody right before he left. Maybe Scorpio, maybe that's like the indication. I don't know if everybody else's job does this, but usually if somebody gets fired, we get the email to take said person off of our employee rosters, and that's how we all know they got fired. Maybe a good indication that someone's contract is not going to be renewed that's currently on television is they're going to have a ladder match with Sammy Guevara. Hey,
Yeah.
Scorpio Sky's getting fired, you guys. He's in a ladder match.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, Caleb's in the chat, and kind of said like, yeah, Sammy's got the right amount of heat, but here's the problem. It's like Sammy was 1 year ago. We were talking about, wow, Sammy Guevara is going to be a really good natural baby face or good guy. I'm breaking my own rules here. After everything he was doing with the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle, and now it's just like, oh hey, we got to lean into everything that maybe will make people dislike him for reasons. It's like, why not just not put Sammy and Ty together? I know, right? People are salty about that, so maybe keep real life, and television.
Well,
don't put them together, and then maybe just have them lose to Scorpio Sky, and then, gee golly gee willikers, put Sammy in a different program. I know, right?
Yeah.
Then people will like him, and then, hey, maybe you could then eventually, in a year, 2 years, 3 years, have an earnest, good guy, world champion that you grew from the ground up like Hangman.
Well, and maybe he still gets booed, but if he loses to Scorp and he still gets booed, that's fine. He can go off into another program, and you're not getting Dan Lambert, who's been the hottest bad guy on your show since he came on cheered again.
Mm-hmm.
Because now, and especially, we're going to go back to a little bit of hint on Dynamite, especially the backstage segment with Kazarian. Like, okay, so he's a good guy though. And he's agreeing to let Scorpio Sky do the thing. So that means he's a good guy now, but then he comes out with Dan Lambert, like, well, okay, he's not a good guy. But then they're like, oh, well, they're both getting cheered. No lies detected.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. It's very wishy-washy. It's very confusing. It's not really cut and dry. And I don't think it's going to end. Is it going to be a good match? Yeah, it's going to be a good match. Did it need to have all of this rigmarole around it to be a good match? Absolutely not. This takes it down a notch.
Mm-hmm.
Confusing storytelling does not elevate a good match. It takes it down.
And I don't think it's genius Tony Khan giving layered and everything. And look at how he's playing 3D chess compared to the simple-minded checkers, whatever fans we're supposed to be. I mean, I guess you call me WWE fan because I've enjoyed what Cody's done there, but whatever. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
It's just not. It's not good TV. It's not good TV, and if WWE was doing this, we'd be shitting on it, and we'd be shitting on it with no qualms about the writing going on. It's okay to shit on Sammy, don't shit on the writing. If WWE is doing this writing, we'd be going, what the fuck? This makes no sense. Why would you do that? I don't think it's quite as militant on like you must love this with here, within the AEW fan base now, but I'm just getting it out of the way before one of those sort of fans comes at me. I feel the need like I gotta say it. But you know something that was good? Ring of Honor World Title match between Jonathan Gresham and Dalton Castle. Good to see Dalton Castle back. You forget that like back in 2016, 2017, like Dalton Castle was like top guy. Like other than the Elites and Jay Lethal, maybe Daniels, Dalton was like fucking on their level. Like Dalton Castle beat Cody Rhodes at Final Battle for the ROH World Championship. And just somewhere along the way, I don't know if it was, ROH becoming the elite show or just, bad influence from Bully Ray at that time, but somewhere along the line, Dalton Castle lost some momentum, and I never understood why. But I like this match. I really like how they bring in Bobby Cruise for the ROH championship matches with the ROH belts on the line.
Yes.
I like how they make it like it feels like it's two different things, and it's not just AEW featuring Ring of Honor.
And it's not like WWE when they tried to turn Raw into WCW, which was a colossal failure because unfortunately nobody just gave a shit. And in this case,
okay, well, I gotta stop you
full.
right there on that one.
Right.
No one gave a shit because they did that in California, which was not a WCW town. If you're going to attempt to make Raw WCW and do WCW things, you've got to do it like in Atlanta or Charlotte or,
Has WCW never done a California show?
It's just not their home base.
Fair point.
Like it's kind of okay. Here's an example, and you'll appreciate this. There's Alabama football fans everywhere, and there might be some people in California that like Alabama, but you're probably not going to be hearing a lot of Roll Tide if you went to California because they have Berkeley and USC and Stanford and UCLA there. So there are going to be like more fans of that. Compared to if you're in Alabama or in the SEC country, you'll see more Alabama support. That's kind of more.
And then the tiny little population of Auburn fans.
I think there's a little bigger portion of that, but I see what you're saying.
I know. I'm trying to be salty.
That's kind of the thing. It's just sort of, if you're going to run WCW, you got to do it where, like, the big WCW fans are. But yeah, CJ, what do you think of this match?
It was a good match. I liked it. It was good. 2 thumbs up. I don't have a whole load to say about it.
I completely forgot that Dalton Castle came out with the boys. I'm like, oh dear God.
Don't be
Came out with
knocking the.
Ghost Boys though.
So, oh God, it's like bad memories of G1. Like, oh God. Like, it's just I don't have anything against them, but it's
What's
like
wrong with the
they're
boys?
just they're they're just cringe. I don't know. It's just like
They're part of the
they're
gimmick.
cringe. I know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like I'm just not over the gimmick. It's just like, oh God.
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
Yeah.
I'd rather be watching Peacock.
Oh,
Saying
now
something.
You know, I'm gonna drop
that's
Tyler Lethal.
a
Hey! At
stretch.
least Peacock gives me some Premier League soccer, some IndyCar, and
How
then
dare you
come
diss the boy?
June,
Yeah. Damn, I
and then
would.
come
Yeah.
June, NASCAR.
Mid.
Whatever you say, MJF or CJF.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
soccer is the mid, the most mid of all of it. This guy forgot about me when. That's actually good. A good idea from Caleb. Yeah, have Scorp go the good. You lost a good guy. With Sammy pretty much being that way. So you need somebody, and like Scorp's about as earnest as you can get right now on the good guy side of things, having people legitimately angry that he lost the belt. So if you want to make Scorp go the good side of things, yeah, that's a very good idea. Um, Last match of the night, Thunderosa defeated Nyla Rose to retain the AEW Women's World Championship. This was a good match, but it was just kind of like I'd rather Britt started off against Nyla and won, and then whatever had her subsequent title reign. I would have much rather with Thunder Rosa had her start off with somebody else, and then maybe in the middle of a title reign after like a lot of grueling matches, be like, oh no, and here comes Nyla. Here comes the native beast to destroy Thunder Rosa. Have something like that happen instead. Other than that, other than just feeling like a copy paste on the women's division in the women's title, I have nothing bad to say about this match.
so who would Thunder's next feud be?
Serena Deeb.
Yeah, Serena Deeb.
Ooh, okay.
But CJ, what do you think about the match?
I like the match. I think that Nyla wasn't horrible to begin with, but Nyla has really, really improved in the ring and just overall, I think. And I probably would have been more into the match if we didn't see Nyla always be the first roadblock.
Sorry about
God
this,
for
guys.
AIW tomorrow.
Hey, can you guys hear me again? I lost the audio.
Yes.
Okay.
Then we
Yeah.
can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I lost all of that on my end.
Way to go.
Them bots are coming after us.
They are the
Yeah.
bots. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bots.
Tony Khan has.
Damn it.
So
The only bots.
okay, well, time out because CJ, I didn't hear what you. I hate to make you repeat it, but what did you say? Because we lost audio.
Ugh. Okay. No,
She
I
hated
think
it.
I absolutely hated it. No, I thought it was a good match.
You
Nyla
said
has
we heard everything up to Nyla just kind of being the first roadblock, and then after that, it
yeah.
just went kaboom for some reason.
Nyla always being the first roadblock to every single champion. I know she was women's champion. That was before Britt. So it doesn't count anymore. That's how we're doing things now.
BB
Before
before
Britt didn't
Brit.
really count. Any champion before Britt really doesn't count. Like I thought I was being pretty straightforward with that answer, but apparently that needed clarification. Anything before Britt Baker was mid. So and it might be after too. We'll just see what happens. But it's always Nyla. It's always, oh, you won the championship? You get to face Nyla Rose. I'm like, okay. So eventually Nyla has to win one again for this to have any credibility. So it's just kind of getting old on that front. But as far as matches go, it was a good match. She was good in it. They both did well. Cool match. Good job.
Mm-hmm. So that's time to light the fuse and bring the boom. Let's talk Dynamite. Starts off with Dustin Rhodes versus CM Punk. This was a good match. I mean, it's just
this is a good opener.
Yeah, this is and I was really shocked to see how much fan support Dustin had. Like we all know that Dustin's great, but just like, not everybody in the world is me and roots against CM Punk out of, just principle, I guess.
Right.
But the city of Pittsburgh, which is why I'm not going to knock the city of Pittsburgh, definitely found the need to pull for the natural instead of the straight edge superstar, and I was there for it. Good match. Dustin's doing his best in-ring work of his career, and if the guy that I stood in line with to get into the convention who disagrees with me sees this, well, I'm sorry, but yes, this is better than his Goldust run other than the Piper match.
No, it was a really, really good match.
So I was watching this at the same time as I was at hockey, and friends that I was sitting with, they were like seeing like, is CM Punk fighting Dustin Rhodes? I'm like, yes, they are. It's like, holy shit.
Kind of reminds me when CM Punk debuted. We were watching that at the same time as we were watching the NASCAR Truck Series.
Hey. Yep. Now, has Punk and Dustin, like, I know Punk and Goldust have fought, I'm pretty sure.
They've never fought, even when they were Gold.
They never fought.
Not even when he was Goldust.
I swear I thought they have.
Nope.
Oh, well, there you know, Mandela effect.
Next up, we have more from the Blackpool Combat Club as they take on Lee Moriarty, Dante Martin, and Brock Anderson, a.k.a. Team 3 Youngsters to get beat up. And it was a good match. Like the youngsters got more in than I thought they would, but yeah, it was. Yeah. So now we go. Well, anything else anybody wants to add about this one?
I'll mention about it, when we actually talk about him. Well, you'll know who I'm talking about later on.
Tony Khan's major announcement: there's going to be a joint New Japan AEW Super Show in Chicago. Definitely going to try and make that one. And when Jay White comes out, I will definitely hit that merch table up.
So, because my phone screwed up, I only got to literally half, actually 3/4 of the promo in, and I see Jay White on screen. I'm like, Jay freaking White, let's go. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm missing this. There's an AEW New Japan alignment or something, and then I hear, we have Forbidden Door show, and literally, I was almost not going to be on the show today because, there was personal stuff going on earlier today, but I was literally going to quote you guys to tell everyone, see you fuckers in Chicago.
Yeah,
but for real, I actually am. I'll see if I can try to make this up because I am going to be going to AEW Dynamite in Detroit, so that might be a little bit of a clash on my travels, but who knows what happens. Maybe a miracle.
Oh, I will.
Tis on a Sunday.
Yeah, it is on Sunday. All I will say is,
I'm thinking I'll just take
man,
Sunday
what a downgrade
off.
for AEW. You used to have Cody Rhodes, and now you have Jay White. What the fuck?
Oh, good Lord.
And that Adam Cole.
And this isn't just a troll. That's my legit feeling. So at athletic_geek89.
And also, Adam Cole announced he was having an Owen Hart Cup fight. Try saying that 3 times fast. Against
Owen Hart
Ishii
Cup
and
fight. Owen Hart Cup fight.
whatever. But Adam Cole versus Ishii, and everybody lost their damn minds.
That'll be a good match. So then we have Wardlow versus the Butcher.
It was kind of cool the way they did Wardlow with
he has to wear handcuffs and
eat shit, pig.
Not allowed to dress in the locker room.
Yeah.
Like they're really like
Like,
they're doing a
they're
really good.
really giving him the Con Air treatment here,
Yeah.
actually.
But that like I love that. Like that's good. Like that's
It
good for
is,
the story.
actually.
You know, like it's they're really going out of their way to make it seem like here is all of the shit that Wardlow has to go through, and this is how you make people empathize with a man that looks like Wardlow.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
You know,
And
WWE thought like we would empathize with Roman Reigns by them lying and saying the Authority doesn't want him as champion, and we saw through that, and it failed.
extremely.
When we see somebody like MJF like actually using like legal loopholes and little underhanded bullshit tactic things and slimy lawyers to make it difficult for Wardlow, you have empathy for a man that looks like he could rip you limb from limb with his bare hands. So, you know, I've been very critical with a lot of things AEW is doing because I feel like they deserve to be called out on things that they're not going to be. But I also don't misconstrue the fact that they're just because they're doing some things wrong right now when they're kind of creatively not where not where they were a year ago. That doesn't mean they're not still doing some things very, very, very well, and this is one of them. All right. Next match is
So how
the
about them
Owen
accountability?
Hart Cup qualifying match. Owen Hart Cup qualifying match. Owen Hart Cup
Oh, fuck
qualifying
off.
match. Kyle O'Reilly
You guys can
versus
English better than me, okay.
Kyle O'Reilly versus Jungle Boy. I was really shocked to see Kyle O'Reilly win.
Why?
Just
Really?
because even though it's kind of they're both kind of tag guys, I was shocked that Kyle O'Reilly won just because they've really gone out of their way. May not so much in the last couple months, but like Jungle Boy's a pillar, Jungle Boy's a pillar, and
Kyle O'Reilly's Canadian.
And I saw him actually fight at WCW when he did the World Cup match. Now WCPW is dead. Good job, What Culture.
yeah, it just I just really shocked to see Jungle Boy lose. I really thought they were gonna have him make a run, but I'm not saying it's a bad call. I was just shocked by it. So this wasn't a Vince Russo swerve. This was a good swerve. So kudos. Next up we have Hook in action, and
His
then
Dynamite debut.
Dynamite debut for Hook. And then Danhausen tried to curse him again. That's still not been explained. Nothing about Danhausen has been explained on AEW, and that is still a problem.
Well, one thing got explained. He wants to fight Hook.
Yeah. So,
Danhausen wants to be a hooker.
And we are slowly going to get the new accountability buddies, Hookhausen.
No.
Yes.
that's not accountability buddies. Nobody is being held accountable for their actions with that.
Well, as soon as they team up, then they're going to hold each other accountable.
Do you know who's...
Danhausen can place the curses, and Hook can beat up those people.
That's not accountability. Do you know who's being held accountable right now? Wardlow. Handcuffs are accountability.
But Wardlow and Sean Spears are sadly not a couple anymore.
But they are accountability buddies because
Nope.
he's making
They'll
sure he
only
stays
be
accountable.
accountability buddies if Sean Spears turns on MJF, which we all know will not happen.
Because Sean Spears needs something to do. Anyway.
Yeah. He's getting on TV. So
this is where I was going to mention it, but when Rampage went off the air, Danhausen apparently placed a curse on William Regal.
We saw that. Still makes okay,
We all know what that means. The Blackpool Combat Club is going to die.
no, because apparently if you're a badass, the curse doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it hasn't affected on Hook.
And that's
you
what
know
I'm
the
saying.
people that Danhausen have been cursing, they've actually been losing. Adam Cole lost the AEW World Championship. John Moxley has been getting beat up lately, but now, they've been winning some stuff, but
So why
still.
don't they do a fucking promo where he's like, "I am Danhausen, and this is why I'm cursing people." Yes,
I
yes, yes.
For me,
It's
like, listen, I understand, and trust me, I'm also, I can agree with that. The fact that they kind of need to explain this more outside of people who follow him on Twitter and his vloghousens. But yeah, we need some Danhausen promos. Like, please and thank you for just when the hell. Okay, if he says he wants to fight Hook, if he wants to fight Hook, okay. So when can we have that? Double or Nothing, Forbidden Door, his
not do
Detroit
not do
debut.
do not waste anything at Forbidden Door on anything that's not
I'm just saying
exclusively
hypothetically.
featuring New
Obviously,
Japan.
please no. And if
Um,
anything, I would love to see a Hook versus Naito match. Now that I think about it.
he's not ready.
Mm-mm.
I'm as big a Hook fan as any, but you can't give a rookie too much too soon. Even if
Okay.
if they're as good as Hook, he is not ready. You moving Hook up to face Naito at Forbidden Door is basically saying, "Hey Darby, hey Sammy, hey Jungle Boy, hey MJF, hey, you're not getting the Naito match. You got.
Okay, I changed my mind. Darby Naito, bring it.
I thought of one even better. It was Darby and Sting versus Naito and Hiromu.
Ooh.
I'd be down for
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Um,
Um,
but well,
Jericho Tanahashi.
I'd be
Yes,
or Moxley
please.
Tanahashi. Um,
Okay, maybe. Mm.
I just want Okada and Danielson. That's what I want. Um, so we have that.
Mm.
Sammy Guevara had a promo, but like earlier we see, as we alluded to earlier, um, Frankie Kazarian was going to get a shot at the TNT title, and Scorpio Sky came back saying, "Hey, can you give me the shot? We always had each other's back in SCU. I really need this." Scorpio came across as a very, very earnest good guy, despite his company that he keeps. So, yeah,
Mm.
we've already talked about this enough.
An
Um,
SCU reunion confirmed.
uh,
I said reunion, not reuniting.
um,
Come on, they're
Owen
going to
Hart
California for the first time
qualifying
finally.
match. We have Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, in Britsburg, coming back to face. Come back here, you. Danielle Camella. This was an okay match. Kind of, was kind of what needed to be. You needed to bring the good doctor back strong, and they did. And then her promo kind of shitting on the rest of the tournament was entertaining. Maybe went a little too far in some of the burials in some places, but I dug it.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Pittsburgh. You actually have a champion that's better than what the Steelers have done in the last decade.
Uh,
Actually, no, I'll make one better. Britt Baker for 5 minutes is more entertaining than Pittsburgh Pirates baseball.
I'm not saying the Steelers have been pretty decent though. So, um,
You've got no quarterback anymore. You've ruined Juju, who now has jumped ship to Kansas, and now
It'll be
y'all
fine.
gonna ruin Najee.
It'll be fine. It's a rebuilding year.
yeah,
Eh.
yeah. Hey, how's the Patriots doing without old touchdown Tommy?
I mean, at least we made the playoffs. How about them Broncos?
You got Russell Wilson now.
Yeah, have fun fucking him up.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna see. We'll see what happens. We got Russell
Yeah.
Wilson,
But
Johnny
you know
Gargano.
what? At least my stadium didn't catch fire. So I'm happy with
Jo-
that.
Johnny Gargano told me I could be optimistic about that. So,
Good for you.
and Johnny Gargano's
Gargano's
from
a
Cleveland.
Broncos fan over the Browns. Why am I not surprised?
No, he's just an objective observer.
Yeah. Well, at least he's a better Johnny Football than Johnny Football was.
So we have a coffin match: Andrade El Idolo versus Darby Allin. I didn't like it.
Loved
Didn't
it.
like it. Didn't like
Didn't
it.
like it.
Didn't like it at all. Or I shouldn't say didn't like it at all. Didn't like it. Like this was a nothing match to me. Um, I'm tired of Sting taking ridiculous bumps. That's gonna kill him. I thought the match just something fell off about it. Didn't like it. Again, I'm just I'm not I don't get why everybody's so hyped about Andrade. He's yet to really do a whole lot to really make me get into him in AEW. Didn't like it.
I wasn't a huge fan. It felt like it tried really, really hard to get off the ground really, really quickly because they were running out of time. And then it was just like, boom, match is over, done. We had, I somebody tried to get me on tape talking about Sting when this was all going on because, so we've got Sting in the Sting mask, and like, oh, I wonder who that is. It's Sting. Oh my God, can you believe it? Yes, actually, I can believe it because he does this in every fucking company that he's in. This is not new. This is not shocking and surprising. This is old hat. He does this everywhere. What's the big fucking deal?
Actually, imagine if he was wearing a Danhausen mask. That would have been
Literally,
funnier.
it would have been fresh if he had been wearing literally anybody else's mask.
Or what Kip Sabian has been wearing for the last few weeks.
That's
We're actually
something. That's
making
something I really want to
monster
fucking
now.
see, though.
Sting in the box.
Yeah.
Sting in a box.
It's a Sting in a box.
A Stingamajigs.
And all the frickin' jumping off things. This man is just a few years away from collecting Social Security. And it's like he's determined not to make it.
I did shout out to I put out there because it looked like he actually hurt himself, and I said, look, I wish he'd stop and shout out to Ribbon Blade for kind of saying like someone needs to go like, dude, Sting, they'll pop for a Scorpion Death Drop. Just do that.
Yep.
Like I would be just fine with Stinger Splash and a Scorpion Death Drop. Sting, you don't have to do don't have to be New Jack.
You learned in the 70s, the 80s, how to wrestle. Less is more sometimes. Why can't you go back to that? Let Darby do the crazy shit. I'm not a big fan sometimes of Darby doing the crazy shit because I'm very concerned for his health, and I am a fan, and I would like to not see him injure himself permanently or die on TV. Not a fan of that. Just putting that out there on the record. Not a fan of death on TV.
Yeah, we're
Death
all not
match,
fans of
yes. Death.
Death match, okay. Death, not so much.
Actual death. Death match, cool. Match death, bad. Cool. We're all on the same page. Cool.
We're here.
We're all together now. Sting. So we had to have like all of the Andrade family office, and I get that that's kind of part of the whole thing. But did we have to do that? If we only have X amount of time and we have these two guys in already a gimmick match, do we really have to do that? Did we really have to have half the match with Sting fighting off the office? Because there was like a legit 5 minutes where it was just the Sting show and we didn't even know where Darby was, and he's the one that's in the match. And then all of a sudden it's like bing, bang, boom, done, one. Okay. And then the Hardy Boys come out to delete them, and Jeff hurts his shoulder deleting people. That seems cool.
Yep. Yep. It's like I'm not gonna say like it was, oh, this is the word AEW in the mud, this is terrible. I remember it, like it's not a hill worth dying on, but I'm gonna point blank just tell you I did not like this match. It was a mess. It was a cluster.
I'm gonna go.
Like if this was supposed to make me love Andrade and get on the Andrade bandwagon, it failed. If this was supposed to make me feel good about Sting, it failed. If this was supposed to make me think that, Darby had another classic match, it failed. If this was supposed to make me care about the Andrade family office, it failed. If this is supposed to make me care more about the Hardy Boys, it failed. What do you call something that doesn't do any of its designed objectives? You call it a failure. And
I'm just gonna throw it on out there that last week we had an approved overrun to flip the lights off and on, and then have a guy that nobody knows who he is pop up on TV. But we can't get an overrun for a casket match.
That could probably have used it. And I'm being a little harsh on Andrade. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. If you're having to cram a lot of stuff, especially in a casket coffin match like this in once and not have enough time to do it, it's going to be hard for anybody. We learned from Minoru Suzuki and Jon Moxley, two of the best in the world, that when you don't have enough time to tell your story, sometimes it's just not going to work. And they're, like I said, two of the very best wrestlers in the world. So I'm not just trying to shit on Andrade because I want to shit on Andrade. I quite the contrary. It's just I'm all these big matches other than the Cody match. I know, right? That they hype up for him. I'm yet to see what the big deal is. I'm yet to see why we had to make roster space for this guy. I just. This episode of AEW was like kind of like last week. Last week where it was like 90% good except for the end. This was like more of a fit. Like this was, you saw everything that made AEW good and everything that makes AEW not so good in one episode. You saw Punk and Dustin, and that's good. And you saw how they're building up Wardlow, and that's good. You have Forbidden Doors, which, the idea of that is good. You have... They did a segment with Lethal and Sanjay and Joe and keeping that feud going without them being on TV, and that's good. You had, there's the good. And then you have, oh, by the way, here's more. Danhausen wants to fight Hook. Why? That's not good. You have bad pacing in a big match. That's not good. You have too many people, including a man in his mid-60s, trying to take too many ridiculous risks that were very unnecessary for this episode. That's not good. Like, if there was somebody new trying to get into AEW, half the show they would have went, this is why I see why all these AEW fans love AEW. And then the other half is, and now I see why Jim Cornette talks the way he does. That was this episode. Anybody disagree?
I got nothing. Like, I thought it was a decent show too. There's some things they can fix. There's some things that are pretty good. It was just in between.
Yeah. CJ, anything else you'd like to add?
Philly, please make sure next week is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's up to the town necessarily as much as it's up to.
But we're talking
person.
Philly wrestling fans. They'll like anything.
Well,
no, that's
they will shit on things.
They will, yeah.
They will absolutely let you know when they are not happy.
No, they did not like King of the Ring 1995.
Yeah.
So no, they will not like anything. They will not like a show where they like, oh hey, it's a tournament and Shawn Michaels in. That means we get 3 Shawn Michaels matches, right? No. Oh hey, we have Bret Hart on the card. That means he's gonna have a big epic match, right? Now he's gonna stick his foot in Jerry Lawler's mouth. Razor Ramon is employed. He's gonna be in matches. Nope, he's managing. Yeah, they won't like just anything, brother.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, all right.
They don't accept what they don't like, and they let you know it.
Yeah, they're quite the contrary. You got to bring it to get Philly to like you.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing you got to do to get me to like you is bring your subscription. And if you enjoyed this, please subscribe and like this video and share it and check out my other videos, not just from the world of pro wrestling, but from the world of comic books, gaming, anime, and all things geek culture. Follow me on my social media pages, facebook.com/athleticgeek89, Twitter athletic_geek89, Instagram athleticgeek89. Be sure to check out my other videos, including this week's Geeking Out podcast with Dalton Anthony, part 2, as we talk about his changing attitude, and of course, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful wrestling figures. CJ, do you have social media?
I do. I'm on Twitter at CJTML0. Tell me how wrong I am. What?
Yeah.
And Easy, what you got for us?
Yes. You can find me at the Tweeterverse at Eric Zarins at ERIKZARINS. That's Z, not Z. And also, tomorrow is going to be extremely special as it's going to be Absolute Intense Wrestling's Eyes of the Beast show featuring the one and only Minoru Suzuki, who's going to have a match with Isaiah Broner. And apparently, according to AIW, they had their biggest pre-sale week or their biggest pre-sale of all time because Suzuki's going to be here and it's going to be freaking awesome. And I'll be at the after party too, just hanging out with Matt Cardona and Canada's own Chelsea Green. But yeah, if you're in the Cleveland area, please check out the show. And also, I normally don't do this, but shout out to a gentleman by the name of Alfred Konuwa, hopefully if I pronounced that last name right, for being the biggest piece of shit on Twitter by thinking a lot of men are going to be excited about Forbidden Door. Hey, Alfred, women wrestling fans exist too, so just letting you know.
Oh,
You're not
they
going to... Exactly. Prime proof. We have a panelist. So, yeah. Anyways.
Women wrestling fans are a myth. They don't exist.
Yeah, well, still, Alfred, thank you for proving my misogyny is still around. Anyways, if you're in the Indianapolis area in the Memorial Day weekend, I'll be at the 500 with my dad, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. And
Jimmy Johnson's got some speed during the test. He might surprise some folks.
Yeah, and hopefully June 26th, I am going to try to make an attempt at going to AEW Forbidden Door or AEW and JPW Forbidden Door. I forgot we cross promoting this shit. But of course, I will be at the June 29th edition of Dynamite and Rampage tapings in glorious Detroit, Michigan. I will be at that city for the first time in 5 years, and my God, it will be a great reunion. Anyways, so yeah, that's
And
what
if you're
I
in the
got.
St. Louis area, check out Glory Pro Wrestling at the Pageant, also featuring Minoru Suzuki and Brody King. And also check out next Saturday, the 30th, Wrestling at the Grandel in St. Louis, Missouri as well. Shout out to everybody there. And for CJ and EZ, I am the Athletic Geek. Thank you for everyone who participated in the chat. We're just Marks, and we're out. Have a good one. All right. Time for me to drink a beer.